Hi everyone, how are you? Thank you all for attending this session. First of all, I would like to thank Network Events for inviting me to this super session, and for me it's a pleasure to be here with all of you and sharing this event with the other professionals. So welcome everybody. I'm Diana Pinos. I am a consultant and trainer in creativity and innovation, expert in design thinking, of which I have been pioneer in Barcelona, applying it since 2012. When I was a child, I had a dream. When people ask me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I couldn't say any concrete thing because it was very difficult for me. I haven't any concrete word for that, but it was very clear to me that I want to help people to be more innovative and to help them to be creative. How I started in my profession area, no? I started in 2004 doing market research, qualitative market research. I've studied psychology because I love people. I'm passionate about people. And later, I did a master degree in advertisement and in strategic planning. And I was working as a strategic consultant. I work with very big clients, with very big accounts in a very big consultancy agency. Since 2012, I've been applying design thinking. And in 2015, I create my own firm, Diana Pinos Consulting. And then this year, 2020, I launched my own project, my Creativity Kit, the first high performance creative training kit. All of this let me create my own formula of innovation that I'm going to share with all of you. Don't worry, because it's not the Coca-Cola's formula. You are not going to be rich with this, but this formula synthesize how I understand innovation and synthesize my 15 years experience working with consumers, companies, with innovation and creativity. And with different companies, organizations, and entrepreneurs, and so on. Innovation equals empathy plus creativity times action. Well, empathy is the first cornerstone of innovation. No, is one of the principles of design thinking, to innovate by offering a solution to a real need of your user. No, creativity is the most important resource in the world. I totally agree with this Edward de Bono's quote, because without it, we would always be repeating the same. The world will be very, very, very boring, no? And all the companies, you will do the same. They won't be any different, any competitive advantage, anything, no? And that's why it's so important for innovating. And it's very important for innovating to combine our right side, the creative one, with our left side of our brain, the more logical one, no? To get a good innovation. But creativity is the spark of everything, no? It can allow you to have those great ideas, no? For bringing to your company a new product, service, new business model, company communication plans, etc. And then action, no? The last part of my formula, we will see how to take the buyer persona in a more inspirational way, leading to a better execution, to a better action. No, it's very important to become our ideas real. No. Well, regarding empathy, what I've learned in my 15 years experience doing marketing research, doing qualitative using research techniques is to empathize. It allows me to learn about a lot of empathy. I've been empathizing with so many different targets, and I learned that consumers, your customers, are not going to tell you what they need. You need to investigate it, capture it. It's a job to find a real insight, no? A real motivation of your consumer. It's like an art. It has a lot of value. That's why I always say, who has an insight has a treasure. What is an insight? Let's see. An insight is a consumer truth with a strong emotional content. It could be an experience, a state of mind, an emotion, a thought, a cultural belief, or behavior. It inspires communication campaigns, innovation in products and services, and brand positioning. Let's see an example. No, it's an example of a real client of me, of a company that asked me to increase sales of a leading coffee brand. During empathy stage, I was interviewing some users, and a key finding that I found was that the coffee activates me. Okay, this is a key finding, but I realized while I was interviewing these consumers, they were always posting stories on Instagram, mentioned the cafeteria. At the end, an insight was that he wants to be the coolest one among his friends, no? And this is going beyond the obvious, no? It's not only take the key finding and say to your client that the coffee activates the user, but going beyond represents find this insight and tell your client that he wants to be the coolest one. He wants to live an aspirational life. Then the solution was more inspirational with the insight part than with only a key finding. And the company finally created a series of inspirational campaigns with influencers that increased annual sales by 15%. It allows them to create a more inspirational, a more innovative, and a more impactful solution, no? That's why it's very important go beyond the obvious and not staying with something merely descriptive and get insights. Making a good buyer persona is the key for differentiation, a good business, or to scale yours, or reinvent your business, or create a new product, services, etc. But finally, at the end, everyone maybe could do a buyer persona, but if it only gives you descriptional information, it's not going to be worthy. And for driven innovation and inspiration, it must be inspirational, okay? Or to give a new more creative perspective into your business. How could we do then a better buyer persona? More inspirational buyer persona? Delving into your consumer. From descriptive data to emotional data to an insight of your consumer. I create my own canvas inside my method, Creativity Kit. And it's a tool that I've been using successfully with so many clients, so many different sectors, in different workshops, different sessions, etc. And this tool, you are not going to see it anywhere because I created based in my own experience as a market researcher, plus my experience as a creative and innovative expert doing these innovation processes with companies. Let me explain how it works, how can you use it for your own benefit, and for finding those insights that are going to give you more inspirational data to convert it in more inspirational results, innovative results. Well, first of all, I'm going to explain you with an example of a food brand for children, a client that I had. Okay. Let's start with the first column, unspoken truth. What does it mean? Okay, here it's to find a truth of your users that they hide it. For instance, here inside was sometimes I sin in feeding my children to make them happier. Then these insights are going to allow us to create opportunities, business, products, communication, plans, etc., brand positioning, etc., actions based on creating free for blame hair, no? Well, the second step, you can go to emotional tensions. And here, in that point, you must write what emotional tensions do they present, your users present. Maybe in this case, the mothers said that they have a little time in general, but they like her jobs and they don't want to give in either. Opportunities that brings here to my client was creating solutions like less time does not have to be eating worse or less delicious. Then the last step, the third step, the 5 whys ladder, consists in asking your user 5 questions about an aspect. Here, you can ask about your children, the children feed, and why it's so important. First, because they were worried about the feeding of my children. Why? Because they have to grow up strong and healthy. And why? Because I want to set a good example for my children. And why? Because physical well-being is also mental. And why? Because I want to look like a good mother. Okay, this is a good real insight, and it is an opportunity to your brand to be a good example. Well, if anyone wants this tool, I have it in Spanish, in English. You can write me an email. I will be very happy to be here to answer any questions, any reflections, or any comment. I hope it will help you to drive inspiration and innovation to your buyer persona. And thank you very much for being here, and hope to speak to you later. Thank you very much and see you later. Bye.